They say you are what you eat, so I don't eat chicken feet. But I love me some of Grandma's pickled beets. Well, cut it up, put it in the pan, throw it over your shoulder and see where it lands right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Maters, taters, beans and corn, the cows in the barn and the sheep's been shorn, kids in the barnyard chasing Grandpa's chicken. Spices, slices, cuts and dices, gonna slash your grocery prices right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Help you grow your garden good with recipes to suit your mood. Try some grub you've never tried before. Smash it with a wooden mallet. Gonna educate your palate. Right here in Farmer's Kitchen. In Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. We're gonna cook something good now.
Hello and welcome to Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen.
Hi.
Well, look who's here. It's Miss Nikki. How are you today?
I'm really good.
You look ravishing in your cowgirl attire.
How sweet. You look pretty nice.
You know what? We have a couple dishes for you, but there's one thing tonight that we're very, should I say proud? In not a braggadocious manner, but we're very blessed. That's a good word.
Good word.
This is our 5th birthday at Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. Really think about the amount of time and effort it takes to put a show together and what Kelly does and what we do and the cleanup before and after. And it's a task that we enjoy because you have let us know that you enjoy what we do.
I enjoy the cleanup.
I
really do. Yeah.
But you know what? We appreciate our friends and we appreciate our partnership with KET. I've been with KET since 1928.
Wow. That's
or
a
something
long time.
like that.
You look really good for your age. You really
maybe
do.
Not that long, but I have known those people over there since 1994 or 5, when we actually had to take Kentucky afield into the studio. It was tape to tape back then, and that's a long process. But then they would approve the show, and they would put all the graphics and the Chiron information underneath it.
Really?
We would assemble the show over there.
You did a show every week like that? Wow.
Every week. So, being that this is our 5th year, I think that's well over 200 shows, so that's a landmark. Some of your favorite shows over the years that you watched when you were a kid, they only had like 160 episodes and they shut down.
Yeah.
So we've done well over 200, probably approaching 250 shows. That's a lot of shows.
Yes, it is.
And people say, will you ever run out of ideas? The answer is no, you can't.
You won't.
You can spend a year doing things with apples.
That's right.
Now tonight, she asked me to take a vacation with her because it was anniversary.
That's right.
She made me shave my man beard off.
That's right. But you look like you're 20 now. When you shaved it off, you lost about 30 years.
Sorry about the big change in appearance. Wasn't my idea, but since it was our anniversary,
that's right,
and we're taking a vacation, we're leaving now, cleaning the refrigerator out.
That's right.
Before we go. That's basically what we're doing tonight. And that's what we do every time we do a show. We kind of take what we've got and make something out of it. But when we come back, can I start my beard back?
Yeah, it's fall, I guess so. Do you think so? I kind of like it off. You look young. If you want to look old again, it's up to you.
So you really like it like this?
I like it like that.
How much do you like it?
It's nice. It itches my hands.
But anyhow, we are taking a trip, and we're coming back with some ideas because I'm not telling you where we're going, but there's a lot of people cooking like this where we're going.
That's right.
Far away. That was kind of this type thing, and the
That's
smells.
what got you going.
The smells that came over there was just absolutely wonderful. It was. And when we come back, we'll share some of that with you. Now, tonight, we try to time things out accordingly. We're going to do a chicken marinade. Now, recently we did a pork marinade with Lisa, and it was very good. This is very similar to that, except we're going to do it over hickory fire. Now, when you're cooking over fire, you do not want to be literally cooking over a bunch of fire if you can help it. We're kind of running late tonight. You want coals. You want hot coals that you're cooking on because that flame will just burn it up. But tonight, we're going to revisit just briefly. Over the last 5 years, we also post these on YouTube. And we get literally tens of millions. We're in the tens of millions now. We're over 10 million views on YouTube. And you can look through the analytics and see what people rate you on and see what they like. Well, we're going to show you a little bit of the top 10. Tonight, number 1 is carving up a beef.
Really?
Let's take a quick look at that and then we'll come back with our recipe.
And as I was talking about before, he's going to make a cut right here, and we're going to take that brisket off this chuck. So this is what the brisket looks like prior to taking the bone out. And you can see it's got a nice layer of fat, which makes it good for smoking and barbecuing. And
Brisket is in right now.
it is, it is.
I think Mark has done this a couple 100 billion times.
He's been in business a long time. This is go to your market.
Very nice.
Okay, that was our number one. Now we've got, I don't know, we're approaching 1,100,000 views on that from all over the world. So that's cool because we can kind of gauge what people want to see. They do like our how-tos, but what people say they like more than anything is the cowboy cooking, which is why we're here tonight.
That's right.
And it doesn't bother us because we
No,
like it.
That's right.
So tell us what you're doing here.
This is something that my grandmother used to make in her restaurant, an apple crisp or crunch. It's in our cookbook,
Right.
cookbook 1. So we're going to make that. I thought it'd be fun to make it over the fire. We haven't done that before. And it's pretty simple.
It's one of my favorite
It
dishes,
is.
except for that other apple.
And you like
The
apple anything.
cake.
Apple anything.
Yeah.
And this I'm doing a little different than the book. The cookbook does 6 cups, but I have 4 cups of apples, so we're going to do
Right.
it a little bit different today. So I have cut 4 cups of apples.
Got a little bit of oil in
Yep,
there.
and you can take the skins off if you want. I didn't. I'm leaving them right on there.
That's the 10-inch pan.
That's right. So we're going to take a cup of brown sugar.
I can deal with that.
And we've got about a cup of pecans here. You can put half cup to a cup. I like more.
And you can use whole or cut up,
yeah,
however.
right. I got 3/4 cup of flour.
All right.
And I got about a little over half a cup, I think. We just added raisins too. That's not actually in the recipe, but you thought that would be good.
Oh, yeah.
You got to have a half a cup of oatmeal.
Boom.
And then about probably a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to guess here. And that's our coating. And you have some hot butter over there too.
I do have some hot butter.
Yes, but I'm going to have you pour that on at the end. I'm going to sprinkle this over the top, and then I'm going to have you drizzle that on the apples, and that's going to be it. Okay, we're going to pour this on top. Now you
Okay.
can stir it in the apples, but it doesn't call for it in the recipe. So let's just kind of just going to smooth it over. And then you're going to put the butter on top. That's 1 stick of butter we melted.
I'm sorry. That's my weakness. I love butter. All right, so now, being that this is a 10-inch and we are going 350 for 1 hour, and that's why we started first.
Right.
It is
Is it 14 and 7?
exactly.
Yay.
You are brilliant, Mrs. Farmer.
Right.
All right, I tell you what, let's put the top on that. Let's get some charcoal going and we'll roll.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to do a simple chicken marinade that involves about every dry rub everybody's already had or made in their life with a little bit of beer and a little bit of olive oil to
sounds
bind
good.
things together.
Yeah.
Oh, it's delicious. It's wonderful. But first, let's talk about the number 2 on the list. Number
Okay.
2 on the list, old-time hog killing. When I was a kid, when we drive down the road, you'd see whole families out
Right.
with the old hog. And the kids were doing their job. Somebody was scraping, somebody was scalding, and
Right.
somebody was taking this part and that part. So, number 2, old-time hog killing. Almost 1 million views on this one.
Wow.
Now tell us a little bit today about what we're going to do here. Obviously, you got one ready to go.
Yep, we got one ready to go. We're going to do all the traditional things that Kentuckians would do with pig. We're going to get the country hams. We're going to make some cracklings.
Oh man.
The old-fashioned way, which is basically this frying the skin. So we're going to do various cuts from the pig.
Wow.
We're going to do a couple different sausages. Breakfast sausage. We're going to do a Cajun sausage called andouille. I'm going to put that on the smoker and talk a little bit about how you can smoke it. And we're going to basically do the entire process of back in the day, how our grandfathers would traditionally gather up the whole family during the winter time, and everybody would roll up their sleeves and get the hot water out and scald the pig and make the lard.
So let's start our simple marinade. Now, I've never measured this. I've kind of eyeballed it.
Yeah.
So I am going to estimate.
All right. That's
that
the best
we're
kind of
using,
cooking. That's the best kind.
I'm going to estimate that right here, we're going to start with ground cumin. And we're going to go a 3/4 of a teaspoon.
Yeah.
Chili powder. I'm going to go equal amounts on these,
Okay.
except for the salt. I want to go a little heavy on the salt. A little bit of chili powder. It's going to have a little bit of zing to it. Then I'm going to come back with some paprika. Sound familiar? Let's come back with some garlic. Yeah, on the cayenne, it depends on you.
That's the
We're
hot.
going to go a little bit less on
Yeah,
the
go a little
cayenne.
less.
In fact, we're going to go quite a bit less. We're just going to do a dash of cayenne, okay? Because that little bit goes a long way.
Yes, it does.
But I still want some black pepper.
Okay. I love pepper.
And we're going to go a little heavier on the salt, not a whole lot. This is fine ground sea salt, because we're healthy like that.
Yes.
I'm going to put it in a bowl.
Okay.
Now this is actually for about 4 pieces. This is a small batch. You could double it, triple it, whatever you're doing. We're going to take, I'm going to say 1/4 cup of olive oil.
Perfect.
Let's come
Some
back
beer.
with, and if we can, let's mix that up.
That smells pretty good.
And for those of you who don't drink, that alcohol will be cooked out of here, and there is non-alcoholic beer, or if you prefer, if you don't drink, use white wine.
Okay, perfect.
That was kind of like a joke.
Yeah, that's a good joke. That's funny.
But you don't have to use that if you don't want to, but it really adds that
I think
little
it does
bit of
too.
yeasty flavor. And that's basically our marinade. I put just a tad of parsley in there as well. Now let's take our onions and our garlic.
All this?
Yep. Throw that in. If you're like me and you're in a hurry, the longer this sets, the better. I probably wouldn't go over a day, but in a couple hours, you can have yourself a wonderful marinade ready to go.
All right.
Now let's take our little plastic bag here.
All right. So put our chicken in and then pour that on.
And pour that in. Let it get all acquainted. Work it all around together. Let it all get spread out. We got 6 pieces here. That was good for about 4. So if you want to double, triple, whatever. And we like, and a lot of people will try to talk you out of this, but we like thighs.
Right, it's our favorite.
I like the dark flavor. I like to leave the skin on.
More
It's
tender.
just me. So that brings us to the fact that you're cooking over here.
Right.
We started right about 5 minutes ago. I've got my fire burning down to where I can grill here in a little while.
Okay.
But first of all, we need to know, what is the number 3
What is?
all-time video? The new way to plant tomatoes.
Wow.
Now, there's an interesting thing that happened to this video, and it's not really funny, but it's just so unusual how this thing worked out. So we got them all planted. They were growing beautifully, overflowing the sides of this thing. Then you got hurt.
That's right.
We didn't go to the garden.
Right.
We had other people taking care of the animals. So we couldn't really show the after effects because the plants were already dead. But this is absolutely wonderful.
Right.
Try this. I guarantee you'll like it. You might want to put a little gravel in the bottom of your bucket, just a little bit to filter it through,
Right.
but man, oh man, it works well.
Worked well.
So what I'm going to do is we're going to unroll this.
Okay.
I'm going to take about 64 inches. How's that sound?
Perfect. I like 64.
64 inches?
Perfect, yeah.
That's actually what I figured was about right.
Okay.
We're going to make a circle out of this. We're going to take these hog rings. That will clinch the ends back together. Pour in the bottom. Just like that. We'll set the buckets down in the ground, line up the plants with the holes in the bucket so the water can get to the root system. Put a little dirt in between it. I want a little space between that. All right, so because we're losing daylight, we're going to cook this chicken. Now, something else we do when we get a fire going, now we won't eat all this, but we're going to cook for in the morning as well. Because we like this stuff for breakfast cold.
Yeah, we do.
And I've even got some steak that we're going to put on here. Now, here's a key for steaks. If you're going to buy, and you want to have some friends over and have a good time, find you a whole loin when it's on sale.
Yes, best.
And you think about when it's on sale for $9.99 a pound. When you go to any decent restaurant, 6-ounce filet is at least $20.
Right.
So you can eat a 16-ounce of beautiful filet for less than $10.
That's right. And you do eat that whole filet.
All right, I'm going to get these started. And then there's one last thing that we have to put together that's fairly simple. I got this idea. It's probably not the same recipe from Chef Bill.
Great
at
chef.
The Bluebird. We were at some friend's house and he had brought this kale salad over. Now this is probably not his recipe because I can't keep up with Bill. He's
pretty amazing.
He's too
That's
good
right.
for me. But you know what? This is a fairly simple recipe. You're going to use some rice vinegar. You can use some honey to get the sweet and the sour.
That sounds good.
You're going to use some nuts. And I mean, kale is like the perfect food.
Yes, it
You
is.
got to have it. And we get some in our bag almost every week.
That's right.
When it's in season. All right, let's put the chicken on. Can you smell that chicken?
It smells amazing.
Isn't that wonderful? Everything's better over the fire.
That's right.
Including rabbit, which, by the way, is our number 4 at 725,000 views on YouTube.
Wow.
Raising rabbits with our friend right down the road. Let's take a peek at that. Now, you raise these for meat.
Pets, if people want them or whatever. That's the breed rabbit we have, or all meat brand.
What are they? What brand?
These are New Zealand's, like a New Zealand red on the bottom and a white, broken New Zealand.
Why New Zealand?
Because they're the best meat rabbits. They grow the most efficiently, and they have the most sought after meat.
Here's what a lot of people would think is attractive, is this plate full of duty.
Yeah, all my cages are made with these trays so we can collect the droppings.
And again, like you said, it doesn't burn anything up. That's the one
Doesn't hurt a thing.
manure you can take right out and put them on. And we just happen to have some rabbit food right here. Nikki, if you will, take that and let's just pull that
Break it
into
up?
pieces like that.
Okay.
Just fork-sized pieces. Think about what you're putting in your mouth.
All right.
With a fork. And I've never measured when I made this either. It's got a nice little sweet taste to it. We're using our honey from our bees.
Yeah.
All right, so there's enough for our kale salad. Now here's what we're going to do. And again, I've never measured this, but I'm going to assume there's probably about, a third of a cup of olive oil. We're going to come back with a little, this is oregano, white balsamic vinegar.
Yum.
Let's say 2 tablespoons.
Yeah.
Let's take just a tad of rice wine vinegar, half a teaspoon of that. Then let's come back with the sweet. Let's go about, tablespoon and a half, 2 tablespoons of honey.
Honey, delicious.
Now, if you want to cut me some little pieces of apples into squares.
All right.
And while we're doing this, let's go to number 5. Our series on building a smokehouse was so popular. It's sitting right over there, and we've used that quite a bit here lately. So anyhow, here's a sneak peek at our number 5, 1977 top hit list, the smokehouse and the building thereof. Now let's go over all the steps. We start over here with your base.
We set the foundation.
Set
We
the
set
foundation.
the block. Put a base for our stove, set our foundation, put our outside frame. We lined it with fire brick. We set your steel door on it. That's just a clean out door from a fireplace.
Right.
It'll utilize it just like it would anything else. It's going to close up, let you draw, set your air flow through that. As you get it developed, we set the roof on top. The framework we set in place.
Speaking of smoke, a little bit of smoke going on. The chicken's beautiful.
It
It's
looks
almost
good.
done. We're going to garnish our salad
Yum.
with chicken,
Okay.
opposite of what you normally think.
Yeah. Okay, I like that
So we're
idea.
going to chicken as a garnish. Okay, now one more thing we're going to do is we've squeezed a little lemon juice here. We're going to pour just a tad of lemon juice into this. And if I had to guess there, I would say a tablespoon and a half. I'm going to take some raisins and go ahead and put a little bit of apple. So we've already got raisins and apples and other. And again, we're using up the stuff we got before we take our little trip. Let's go ahead and cut some of these pecans in half.
Need to break them for you?
Yeah, break them. Put some pecans in here. You see where we're going, Mrs. Farmer? If you don't mind tossing this a little bit
Okay.
after I pour this in. As we get ready to add some Parmesan cheese on top of this to top this off, look at that. Are you kidding me? Let's talk about, again, number 6, which is canning 101. Now, we've put up a lot of stuff over the years. We have put up less this year because we're more on the meat side of
Right.
things, and we'll vary from year to year depending on what we do. But if you want to put it away yourself, here's how. Canning 101.
Let's help me list off the things that we've already canned this year. It's harvest time, obviously.
We did
What do
cabbage,
We did cabbage. What else?
green tomatoes, you did pickles, jam.
Strawberry jam. And we're going to, believe it or not, we're going to do all these things tonight. Plus, we're going to visit Lois, and she's going to show us how to pickle some green beans. Bobby Joe grew some honking big green beans this year that absolutely taste wonderful. And he's going to show us how to cut those off and put them in a quart jar and make some fantastic pickled green beans. But first, let's talk about the basics, okay?
Now look at that. Is that not beautiful,
That
Mrs. Farmer?
is a work of art. You outdid yourself.
And you know what? I never thought about presenting it like,
I like that.
But you know, the kale is kind of the star and the chicken's the side.
We
top.
can't eat that. That's too pretty.
Let's just leave it there and look
Okay.
at it for like 8 hours.
Okay.
How apropos, though, to talk about chicken. Before we dig in, what if you wanted to raise chickens on your own? We did a little segment, went to Tractor Supply, about buying chickens and starting chickens. And it got like 200,000-300,000 hits. Let's take a look at that real quick. It's number 6 on our all-time hit list. Here's what we're going to do today. I had a real problem with raccoons last year.
Yeah.
So I'm down on my chicken. So I'm going to start over again this year.
We've got our pullets, we've got the red sex links, they're kind of a production egg layer. And then we've got the Baineys, which is more of like a just type of look at type of chicken.
They're entertainment.
Yeah, entertainment chicken.
Well, you know, the setup you see here is so simple.
Yeah.
All this is a little galvanized tub here.
Yeah.
It's got a feeder. It's got a waterer. You leave that on. They can kind of self-regulate temperature-wise. If they get too warm, they'll move out. If they get too cold, they'll move back.
Yeah.
We got a few more minutes on your dessert, which I want to try this anyway. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I think salad first.
I want to try your kale.
Oh, good.
Your dressing's really good. I like that. That's a great combo. What a great idea.
Well, look at here.
I want to try your skin. Oh, wow. That is delicious.
That's absolutely wonderful.
That is. You did good.
And you know, we're going to have to hurry because our show's almost over, believe it or not.
Yeah.
8 and 9 involved curing hams and bacon in your own kitchen. Let's see just a clip of that with my buddy Jay Caskey.
All right, here's the point right now where you get your pencil and your paper and get ready to write something down because Jay's going to give us his top secret gabillion-dollar recipe. That's worth $1 gabillion on a new Ford truck.
Hey, what do you put in there?
We're going to put 8 pounds of salt, and that can be table salt. Try different salts, there's really not any difference in them. And then 2 pounds of brown sugar, dark brown. And then 4/10 pound of red pepper. And then the other one is 4/10 pound of black pepper.
And that's it.
And that's it.
Tell us what you do here. Tell us your special mix that you got going on to flavor this thing.
What I do is there's 3 parts to it. There's a 1/4 cup of kosher salt, 1/4 cup of dark brown sugar, and a 1/4 cup, and it has to be 100% maple syrup. And that's all there is to it. You mix those 3 ingredients together, and we're going to paste it all over the bacon, and we're going to put it in a Ziploc bag.
Look at that, Mrs. Farmer. That's beautiful. Let's take a taste real quick. That's a really simple
That was simple.
Dutch oven trick.
It's good.
But it takes just a second for all those flavors to come together.
Oh, it's good, isn't it?
Bam!
So easy.
Absolutely delicious. Which brings us to our number 10. What do you think our number 10 thing is?
What is number 10?
Now, these are all the kind of how-tos.
Right.
Which get the most views. Now, the recipes at the top are always the Cowboy Cooking.
Right.
But we'll have more how-to shortly. But the last one was How to Raise Cattle by our buddy Todd. And this has like 160,000 views. So here's Todd. A little piece of our raising cattle. Let's talk about the fact that you're doing something unique here. This isn't your typical, this is your creation for the most part. Tell us about what you're trying to do with the Black Angus and the old milk cow over there.
Sure. All right, in 2011, Tim, I liquidated my cow herd, had 34 Black Angus cows, took a little extra money I had out of that and bought 5 brown Swiss cows.
Now, why brown Swiss?
Okay. 1, brown Swiss was cheaper because they were a dairy breed. Number 2, I was using them as nurse cows. So I was putting multiple calves on each cow. I would go to the stockyard, local stockyard over in Campbellsville, and purchase calves that were pulled off of maybe some old cows or what they call downer cows, cows that's on their last leg. And I would buy that baby calf and graft it on to that cow.
Now, we're going to stop eating for just a second. It's hard to do, but we will tell you about our YouTube page, which we just talked about. Literally millions of views thanks to folks like you. Hit subscribe. That way, every time something new comes out, you know about it.
That's right.
Now, if you haven't seen a segment or are looking for a recipe, where would you go, Mrs. Farmer?
I'd go to timfarmerscountrykitchen.com.
All those recipes, there's what, 20 gazillion?
Bazillion, you said.
Bazillion?
Yeah, something like that.
Also, if you'd like to be our friend on Facebook, we would love to have you. We talk about recipes. We answer, we talk back and forth. Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen Facebook page. We'd like to see you over there as well. We're losing light.
That's right.
We're going to get our bellies full, and it's all about
good times,
good friends,
and really good eats tonight.
Really good
eats.
Good eats.
Let's have some more dessert.
I'll do that.
To order a cookbook, please call 502-319-0487 or email timfarmerck@gmail.com. Special thanks to CKY, Canoe, Kentucky, Furniture World Superstore, Housewarmings, Lodge Cast Iron, Tater Knob Pottery and Farm,